Welcome to Fantastic Vision. Please subscribe us before you watch today's video. The United States terminates the supply of photolithography machines to China. This is simply a jaw-dropping scene that cried wolf. The semiconductor blockade war has escalated again. This technological war is far more intense and confusing than China imagined. Not long ago, the US government put pressure on the Dutch company ASML, without warning, in an attempt to cut off the supply chain of Chinese lithography machines. This is not a simple game, but a psychological game filled with the confidence and arrogance of the US government. They seemed to think it was an easy victory, and that they had the semiconductor blockade war under control. However, things are far from as simple as they imagined. ASML's response was like a depth charge, turning the entire situation upside down in an instant. Back at that critical juncture, the US government may be very happy about blocking China's access to advanced lithography machines, because in their view, this will cause a fatal blow to China's semiconductor industry. After all, the lithography machine is the core equipment of chip manufacturing. Without it, the brain of modern electronic equipment cannot be produced. However, ASML's statement completely subverted the US government's assumptions. While the US government is exerting pressure on the Dutch government, ASML has delivered all previously backlogged orders to Chinese customers. This news was like a heavy hammer hitting the US government on the head. This is terrible. This was the first reaction of many netizens. They began to leave messages one after another, making fun of the US government's recklessness and lamenting China's quick and decisive response. Some netizens said, "It seems that the US government has overestimated itself, thinking that blocking the lithography machines will make it difficult for China's semiconductor industry to move forward." Unexpectedly, they have already been prepared and the orders have been completed. Now, the US government is really embarrassed. What a big loss. These remarks fully reflect the resentment of the majority of netizens towards the overconfidence of the US government. In this psychological game, the US government obviously underestimated China's resilience and response speed. However, the deeper impact is that these lithography machine orders are not only substantial in quantity, but more importantly, they contain provisions for technology upgrades. This means that even if ASML stops supplying, China can still enjoy technological updates. This is a major counterattack against US policy. The resilience and independent innovation capabilities demonstrated by China's semiconductor industry have shocked many people. Just when the US government thought they had the initiative, China had already given a strong counterattack through practical actions. What is even more shocking is that under the restrictions of the United States, China's semiconductor industry is rising at an alarming rate. Domestic companies' breakthroughs in 7-nanometer technology have attracted the attention of the entire industry. ASML CEO Wen Ninke even publicly stated that it is unrealistic to impose a complete technological blockade on China. This may be counterproductive and further promote China's faster innovation in the semiconductor field. As soon as these words came out, they seemed to be a slap in the face to US policy. People can't help but ask, has the US government overestimated its own power? This series of developments is undoubtedly a huge wake-up call for American companies. They began to realize that excessive restrictions could cede markets to others. Nvidia, Intel, Qualcomm, and other companies are beginning to feel the uncertainty of the industry's prospects, and their restrictions may be paving the way for the rise of Chinese companies. Too much is too much, and imposing so many restrictions may harm you in the end. This is a comment from a netizen, which is deeply shocking. The various restrictive measures imposed by the US government may have some effect in the short term, but in the long term, they may quickly promote China's self-sufficiency in the field of science and technology, and break its original technological hegemony. In this challenging era, Chinese companies have not only demonstrated strong adaptability, but also made remarkable achievements in the semiconductor field. The role of ASML has also become more intriguing. They are not only affected by US policies, but they also deeply affect China's semiconductor industry. No one can predict what the future will bring. But what is certain is that both the United States' restrictive policies and China's independent innovation will have a profound impact on the global semiconductor industry. In this challenging field, only time will tell who can go ahead and create better results. However, the question that China needs to seriously consider is, in today's globalized world, is technological blockade really the solution? It may produce some effects in the short term, but in the long term, it may quickly promote the target country to achieve self-sufficiency in the field of science and technology, thereby breaking the original technological hegemony. Let China wait and see who can take the lead and create more outstanding results in this challenging field.